Jedforest welcomed Selkirk to Riverside Park, looking to make amends for last week's result in the reverse fixture at Philip Hawke, whilst the visitors were looking to make it 3 wins on the bounce as the race for the playoff places continued on March Day 12 of the Premiership season. And there was barely time for spectators to get comfy in their seats as Selkirk made the perfect start to the march through a great flowing try from the kick-off, which was finished by scrum half Jack Hamilton and converted by Craig Jackson to give the suitors an early 7-0 lead. However, this Jed team are not one to give up, and ended up scoring 14 points in the following 8 minutes, much to the surprise of the travelling supporters. First, after working their way into the Selkirk 22, the Jedforest backline worked their magic to send Robbie Shearer-Gibb over in the corner, and only minutes later the home side caught the Selkirk defence slacking once again, and used quick handling to open up a gap for Mason Cullen to touch down. Hooker Finlay Scott converted both tries from either touchline to put the hosts 7 points in front. After the explosive opening 10 minutes, things started to calm down, and both teams battled away at breaking down their opposition's defence. Selkirk reduced the deficit to 4 points through a penalty after 22 minutes, and 15 minutes later the visiting side bagged their second try of the afternoon through the ever-determined Alan Ferry. Jackson kept his kicking success at 100% with the conversion, and so it was Selkirk who went into the break with a 17 points to 10 advantage. The second half was equally as thrilling as the first half, and it included a double sin bin soon after the restart, when Dom Buckley of Jedforest and Luke Petty of Selkirk were sent to cool down for 10 minutes. Straight after this, it was time for another forward-dominated Selkirk score, and after the driving maul fell just short, Alan Ferry spotted a gap and dived over for his second try of the day. There was then a third yellow card of the afternoon as Callum Anderson was sent to the bin for a deliberate knock-on in his attempt at halting a Jedforest attack. Having the extra man clearly helped Jed in their mission to claw Selkirk back, as they soon scored from a 5-metre scrum when Gary Young used his power to crash over the try line. With just 3 points in it, Jed did all they could to try and get their noses back in front, but couldn't quite finish off the moves. In the end, Selkirk worked their way up the other end of the pitch twice in the last 10 minutes, and on both occasions came away with penalties, both of which Craig Jackson made no mistake with to put this clash to bed. So Selkirk come away with the spoils from this one, taking 4 points home with them, whilst Jedforest will be disappointed not to at least come away with a losing bonus point, let alone the opportunities that they had to go ahead in the closing minutes. Full time at Riverside Park, it's Jedforest 19, Selkirk 28.
Yeah, we were probably surprised by how good a start we got, to be honest. We knew they would come out firing after last week. We didn't think they fired the shots they probably could off. They've got some good players in their team, do you know what I mean? So we came down here, we knew they were going to do something to us, and when we got off to that fast start, it was good by us, but we knew there would be a backlash and probably sat off them a little bit. And fair play to them, they played in the right areas with the wind that they had on their backs in the first half, so it was to be expected. They've got some good players in their teams.
Yeah, and when you play the same team 1 week after a fairly comprehensive victory last week, does it change the mindset at all? Is it a wee bit harder to get up for mentally?
It can be, but as we said there, we knew they were going to come back with something else and something more. We didn't think they fired shots last week, and we knew they had a little bit more firepower within them, and we knew we had a little bit more as well. So we just talked about controlling what we could control and coming back in this week and putting our kind of marker on the game, which we did straight away. And then we had a little lull in that first half, but we managed to get back in front and claw out a win against a good nutty Jed side.
No, obviously last week hurt a lot. You kind of spoke about it through the week about getting that pride back, and I thought we'd done that in spells, but they're a good side, and I thought we gave a better show in the day, but ultimately just came up short. Disappointed not to get in for the game.
And Selkirk have got a wee bit of ex-Super 6 experience in the ranks these days. Do you felt that makes a bit of a difference in the second half when there's a game to be closed out?
Oh, I mean, our front row's played 80 minutes there. We've got Big Paolo. We're not too worried about them, but we've stuck with our local boys, and we're persevering with them. To be fair, they're showing up pretty well. It's just trying to put that full performance together. It's coming. We keep saying it's coming, but it's going to have to come quickly.